Hi guys, and welcome! I am Enigmius, and this is episode 7, the Ultimate Feed the Beast Reloaded. I have another busy episode for you today. We're down here checking on our quarry, which seems to be doing alright. It's going a little bit faster than a standard quarry. We did a few minor adjustments to our bluelectric power plant. We're going to go take a look at that momentarily just to show you exactly what I'm doing. And I'm constantly tinkering with different things with that, particularly with the engines, trying to see what I can do with them to get more power to them, try and get more out of a single engine so that I don't have to use as many to get the same results, etc., etc. So for now, it's doing all right, and we're doing a pretty good job of digging our hole within a hole. We're down to level 37. So pretty soon we'll be down to the good stuff, which is nickelite, not diamonds. It's nickelite is what we're after. So we're heading up here, our artificial ocean within our facilities. What a mess. What a mess indeed. That's not far to the bluelectric power plant. This is basically where all of the little rechargeable batteries come when they are teleported down from the satellite via ender chest. You can see them cycling through there. You can see we've got a battery of batteries. All of these bluelectric batteries. Eventually I'll be pulling out this chunk here and putting in another battery. But I need nickelite for that. And here are the bluelectric motors. 2 of them right now feeding the redstone power cell, redstone energy cell, that's running the quarries. And they're doing, like I say, a fairly decent job. I've got one cell right here that's full. That's sitting in reserve if I ever need something, if I'm not having, if I'm trying to run a bunch of machines and the quarries are taking too much power, whatever. And then this is a buffer cell for the quarries that's connected to the energy tesseract sending the quarries power, and it's never got anything in it. You can see it's just kind of hovering around in the barely double digits. And that's really it. I've got energy going into the engines on 4 different sides. You see, that's why I've got the cable. The jacketed cable running all the way around is just trying to get as much energy as I could. I actually tried putting transformers around the sides with the high voltage side facing towards the engine just to see if I could, get a step up in power that way, and it didn't work. So this is what I've got to go with. I know that 10 kilovolt wires do not connect to the engines. So I think I've sort of maxed out the potential to get more power out of them, but you can see doing a fairly decent job of keeping all of these batteries full. Like you see them flickering as they drop from full to something not full, but they aren't all empty like they used to be. So we're making progress. And you can see this is my processing area that's just totally not automated at all. And then we've got my 4 cobblestone furnaces. You thought I was joking when I mentioned the 4 cobblestone furnaces. We're heading up to the bluelectric satellite. I mentioned in the last episode that I was going to be making some changes to the orientation of the kinetic generators, which I did. It didn't actually take long, and it made a tremendous difference as soon as it starts to show up here. You can see literally all I did was extend the stone jacketed blue wire up 1 block and over, and then set the kinetic generator on top, and then the next one out this way, and then just alternating back and forth to free up the sides of all the sides of the turbines. And it seems to have had a pretty noticeable difference. The one thing that I noticed, except for these guys who are not moving because their batteries are full, they all turn at a pretty consistent rate. There's not any one that's faster than the other, which suggests to me that we're in pretty good shape in terms of their spacing and their orientation. So that's it for the bluelectric satellite until I get some more nickelite. And it was such a quick and easy fix. I was actually really glad it was quick and easy because I was not really wanting to invest a ton of extra time on it. So now it's all about the farm. The whole thing with the bluelectric power generation is that it's neat, it's fun, it's cool, and it's very, very expensive in terms of materials for what you get out of it. So I decided rather than piss and moan about it, I would use it as an opportunity to try some things that I haven't worked with before. And I've just decided that I'm going to do everything with Minecraft Joules that I can come up with, within reason, I think. There's probably going to be some methods of generating Minecraft Joules that I'll overlook, and I won't care that I've overlooked it. But one of the things that I'm going to be working with is biofuel and steam-powered generators, turbines, blah, blah, blah. Just because. Why? Because. And then I'll be feeding the Minecraft Joules from that into the same energy network, so quarries should run faster. I should be able to run more than one of them, and it hopefully will work out well. Now you can see part of that was expanding the tree farm, and all I did, the beauty of this system with Steve's carts is all I had to do in order to expand the farm was to expand the tracks. So I dug out a trench, I made up a bunch more dark zirconium platforms like I've been using throughout there and all that other stuff, ran sort of a switchback pattern so it goes back and forth, and then when it gets to the end, it comes down here past the cargo manager where it unloads all of the goodies and loads up again on fuel and saplings if it needs it. It's actually treating saplings and logs as fuel right now. So there's going to be some changes to that in the future once we're set up to make those changes, but for now, we're getting a lot of logs out of it, and no small amount of saplings either. So that's one change, but the other major change that I made is I'm starting to add tanks for everything. There's eventually going to be a tank for biofuel, probably biomass, water, lava, oil, fuel, anything else I can think of. I'm going to be using the Zycraft multi-tanks, and I did a bunch of time-lapse building the water tank using aqueous accumulators to eliminate the need for pumps or any other kind of things that want energy themselves. And I'll let you take a look at this. So here we are underground. We're actually between where my wheat field is and where the chicken coop is, and I excavated down so that I would be able to contain an entire 12 by 12 tank underground, and then we'll be expanding this and putting our other tanks basically in a row once we get everything all said and done. Now obviously this is the water tank, or maybe not so obviously depending on where you're at with the learning curve. Those are thermal expansion aqueous accumulators. There's 16 of them. There's 4x4, so 16 accumulators, and then I'm putting water source blocks all around them. And the great thing about them is they don't require an energy source of their own. They're not a pump. You don't have to hook up an engine to them. And also, they have that same thermal expansion feature where they automatically eject their contents to any valid output, which in this case happens to be what I'm putting down now, which are the Zycraft valves. And one of the reasons why I'm using Zycraft tanks for this, I've done the Railcraft multi-tank thing before using the iron tank walls and all the specialized blocks. With Zycraft, you can build the tank out of pretty much whatever material you want, and then you just need to use the Zycraft valves to make it a tank. If you build a cube of, the largest it can be is 12 by 12 by 12, and you put a valve in one of the walls and you right-click on that valve, unless you made it out of some material that an Enderman can run away with, chances are pretty good it's going to recognize it as a valid tank. Now, what I'm adding with the darker blocks in the back is the liquid detectors, which basically, if the volume of liquid in the tank is enough that it would touch one of those detectors as it rises up the walls, the detector emits a redstone signal. So what I end up doing with that is going to probably vary from tank to tank. What I'm going to do with the water tank is not a lot. Unless I see that it's low, then I need to, make some adjustments so that I don't run out of water. With the plans that I have, that could cause some explosions. But with something like a lava tank or anything involving motors that are prone to overheating, that information or that redstone signal can be used to shut down various operations or send a signal to me so that I know they need attention of some sort. For now, I decided that I would just run some basalt jacketed wire and use different colored lamps to kind of get an indication of exactly where the levels are. Now, I don't expect that this is going to be a permanent installation with the lamps, just because where they are is not particularly useful. But again, it's just getting familiar with the way things work. There's no point investing, 45 minutes to an hour in this elaborate system and find out I was completely mistaken over how things were going to behave, and everything that I've been doing was a waste of time. So I do a little bit of fiddling and tinkering, and I wanted to see if I could get like a blinking light out of one of the signals, so if the tank was just about full, have like a blinking alarm light sort of thing saying, hey, this thing needs attention. So I used an AND gate with a wireless redstone receiver connected to my 2-second timer down way below my facility, and that actually worked really, really well. I was able to get a blinking signal out of it, and that was really all there was to it. It's extremely simple. And with it all said and done, this is what we have on top with our little gauge. You can see it's full. It's already full. I was amazed at how quickly it filled up. It was doing about, I would say, 7 to 10 buckets of water per second flowing into the tank once I finished constructing it, and then right-clicked on the valve to say, hey, I'm done building, check and make sure this thing is valid. And you can see we've got the flashing red light showing us that this guy is full. So, like I mentioned, the whole idea of having the flashing red light is there are going to be certain things where we don't necessarily want things to keep working after the tank is full, even though they will try. So we can either use this signal, the redstone signal itself, to control that, turn off pumps, turn off engines, turn off whatever, or we can at the very least give ourselves a very clear visual indicator saying, this requires your attention, go shut some stuff off or break a tube or a pipe or whatever. So that's where we're at with that, and now it's just a matter of expanding it. And next episode we're going to be doing another lava tank. We're going to be trying to focus, we're going to be using the Zycraft multi-tank, but again, focusing on the really streamlined, elegant application of a self-perpetuating lava tank. We're going to give it a little bit of lava to start, we're going to give it the materials to turn netherrack into lava, and then that's basically going to be the entire process. As long as we've got netherrack, we will have a constant supply of lava. So I hope this was informational and maybe even a little bit interesting. If you like, you can leave your comments below the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.